Oga?
Yes?
Na years you fit port our SIM?
Yes. Welcome to MTN. MTN mobile number portability is the process by which you can shift to the MTN operator while retaining your old number. Say goodbye to inflated billing, call drops, and substandard network. Say yes to MTN.
My number done dey portable. It means say I fit to carry am come to MTN. Easy to enjoy the coverage where no get back to. The number where you dey use now and before carry dey go yeah. I don't port I don't port I don't port go MTN. Kiri kata carry the same number. I don't upgrade to MTN.
MTN, welcome to the new world.
Tell me your top 3 books, your best 3 favorite books.
When it comes to favorite things, I don't really have a lot of favorite things because sometimes you might just say this is your favorite and then something else takes, so I usually have a favorite, but I can say this is my favorite, but not top 3. Okay. And that book is by Dale Carnegie.
Okay.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. And my best part in that book is the part where he talks about walking into there was something that happened, and the person in question, I can't remember whether he was the one. The person in question was about to be fired because he had made a lot of mistakes in the company over the years, and there was a board that had been set up, a committee, and he walked in. So when they walked in, they were ready for him, right? The missiles were ready, and then at the end they were ready to say, look, you know what, you're fired, So but when he walked in, immediately he sat down and said, please, before you start, let me just say this. In 1998 February so this was what I did, and in so day I did so thing, and I also made another mistake in this. So he told them more than what they knew. He told them, look, I messed up. I just keep messing up and making the mistake over and over. Everybody was looking. So I said, okay, sit down. In case of next time, this is how you should do it, okay? You understand? These were people that were ready to say,
Judging.
Yes. And they were waiting for him to fight back and say, I'm right. I mean, I did it correctly, but it was out of my hands. But this guy came and then told them, I am even worse than you perceived. And there was no way to throw or cast a stone anymore. And so they advised. And I came to realize it happens even in real life. That book is my best. In fact, funny enough, yesterday I went on eBay and I was trying to get the hardcover for it. So.
Okay, what of movies? Top movies?
I do like 3 Idiots. I don't know if I would say top movie.
Okay.
Yes, I love 3 Idiots. The fact that this guy had to study and he was happy with himself and found it, and when there was a problem, he had to tell himself, all is well, all is well, all is well. Now, he said something. He said, you're tricking your heart. You're making your heart believe that all is well. And when you do that, you're more relaxed. The heart and the brain work together, and it tells the system all is well even when it's not well. And that's because a lot of us, we get worried about things. And these things, when we get worried about them, we tell ourselves or tell our heart and our head, things are not okay, and things don't get to be okay. I'm not talking about in real life. We don't feel it that way, but if we tell ourselves that things are okay and we try to, it's not easy, but we try to live it, But what I love again, aside that, is this guy went to school. I don't know the word for it, but he went to school. He knew he wasn't schooling for himself. He was schooling for someone who, of course, they're rich and all that. He loved going to school. So they said, since you are going to school, okay, go to school for my son. And he went to school and got the degree. And the son took the degree and the name and everything. And he went somewhere else and he started studying, got a lot of patents. He was that big. So he studied. He didn't do it just to pass. And that's, for me, that movie is mind-blowing for me. I learned from every part of it. I learned. And like I said before, that guy saying all is well to his heart is something I've learned. In real life, I've told myself, and something, I don't know if it was from Dale Carnegie as well, I learned this, that when you tell your heart, or you say, I can't, you tell your brain, I can't, something happens. And this is what happens. Nothing. The brain stops working. Because more like you've told your brain, I'm done. But when you say, how can I? The brain starts, okay, let's figure it out. You know, it's working. So it's something I've really tried to carry on with.
Okay. What would be your happiest career moment?
MTN. It sounded like an advert now. MTN. NYSC. During my NYSC, I was this guy. I was in the dramatic, what's it called? CDS. Drama CDS. Now, while in the drama CDS, I was made president one time. It's a different story altogether. How I became president, votes and all that. So when I became president, one day I just came, and before that I heard about this MTN competition. I came online, I saw MTN I Don't Port competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the one that
Saka? That's right. So
Afis Oyetoro.
yes,
Something
exactly.
Like
Yes,
okay.
Afis Oyetoro. So when I saw it, they said, like, if you know that you're good, your dance and all that, just create a concept. I'm not a dancer at all, but I love the challenge, the concept and all that. So I said, okay, this is it. So I went back and I called some persons, some coppers. I told them, we can do this. And some coppers are like, look, what's wrong with this one? We're talking about the best dancers. You don't see dancers for Lagos. Show what you talk. And you are in Calabar. You are saying, have you seen dance? There are dancers in Nigeria. So you are telling me that among the dancers in Nigeria, they will just pick you guys. So I said, okay, no problems. I called other persons and they said, let's do this. We're 5. We can do this. And so we went ahead with it. Okay, the 6th person, we called the 6th person. Now while going, the 6th person fell out, and then the 5 of us were on it. So I looked for a camera. Now this was when I already understood some cameras, but this particular camera I was looking for, I just needed something. I was really broke. So when I got the camera, I got it from NYSC. They gave me a camcorder. So today that taught me another lesson. It's not what you see. Seeing is not believing. Because when you pick up a camera, the screen has been modified in such a way sometimes for it to look crystal clear and good, but when you move it to your computer, it may not be that way. That picture might be blurry. So we were shooting the I Don't Port concept. It was a great concept. I love it because I could feel it. Everybody was enjoying it. After shooting all day till evening, I went back. I put the memory card into my computer and I started crying. I feel like crying right now. So I cried because what I saw, and that's to tell you, I've always loved a standard. I've always looked at the standard. I've always reached out towards. Yeah. Yes, I cried.
My question is happiest, not saddest.
Saddest. I cried really sad because what I saw, the video was not it. For people, they would accept that standard, but this wasn't me accepting it. I looked at this picture quality wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I was seeing in that camcorder. So I was crying. So I called one of the ladies who was with us, and she told me to stop crying. It was about 11 p.m. in the night, and we talked till almost 1. So I started making calls. She started making calls for how we're going to get another. First thing she did, Queen Agbaye, I need to mention her here because she really did great, was she helped me to call the other persons to talk to them, to bolster their confidence back again, that don't worry, what we did before is gone, but let's do it again. Okay, so they listened to her and we moved on. We were able to get the camera that night. The guy said in the morning very early we can pick it up. This is how much I was going to pay. We negotiated. I said I'm ready to pay. So early in the morning we picked up the camera, went back and shot everything again. And one day, while we submitted late, one day while I was on my own, we're just normal coppers, a message came in from a call came in. Hello, good day. This is MTN. Would like to inform you that you've been shortlisted among the best for the MTN I Don't Port competition. And I was like, don't ever call this number again, scammer. So,
did you actually say that?
I said that so because I said it. I don't like those kind of calls because I didn't think we're going to win that or we're going to be among the best. So I terminated the call and they called me back. They said, sir, we understand why you're saying that. We understand. We know how the country is. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to follow you on Twitter and then we're going to send your DM. The DM, they did. Till today, MTN still follows me on Twitter, so we can DM each other. It's a story that it has a lot of inspiration for me. It made me believe in myself that you don't need to look at all the crowd. They are just heads. Just do what you have to do and believe that you are the only competition. Just keep being a better version of yourself. So when we moved, MTN was supposed to invite just the winning leader to Lagos, but when we arrived, we thought that was the regular thing. All the other winners we thought they were also called like that. So when we stepped in at the airport, we entered the bus. One guy said, sorry, excuse me, the 5 of you, MTN sponsored your flight? The guy said, you guys deserve it. This was one of the competitors speaking. He said, you deserve it. We said, we don't understand. Is that not the same thing? He said, no, that he came. All these are representatives, the leader of each group that came. I think it was about 5 groups that won in Nigeria. And you guys came, all 5 of you. They didn't care. They had to send all 5 of you. You deserve it. In fact, he told us that my girlfriend was watching your video and she liked your video because it was about likes then as well to support. She liked your video. And I came and I asked her, why did you like the video? And she said, I'm sorry, the video was too good. So I clicked like.
You did that recording, did you?
Yes, I did the recording. I did the recording, directing and all, and editing. She said, and I clicked like, and the guy was like, when he watched the video and I said, oh, MTN, I've called professionals. They don't want to give us the money. So, hearing someone say those things was like someone I didn't know from Adam saying these things. I think I was from Enugu or so. And I said, this is it. So when we got to the hotel, we had our separate rooms. I mean, it was huge for me. And I met the lady who contacted me, Ariola, back then. And she said, this is it. That when we were watching your video, we saw the video and we saw everybody dancing, kirikata, and there was only one thing that was going to disqualify you guys. And we as MTN staff, we were praying that that thing should not be bad, like it should be there. The thing that's going to qualify you should be there.
Okay.
So even they themselves wanted us to qualify. And that was just for me to dance, even if it's just to do like this. So they did, I wasn't there. I was just acting, and they got to like cricket, and then they saw me just do like this. So this everybody said, yeah, that's it. This is it. Yeah. So that video is, it posted.
2013 or thereabouts.
2013, yeah, thereabouts. Yeah, funny enough, I typed on Facebook recently, I don't port MTN competition. I saw the post on Facebook. Like, it's 2013 or thereabouts. That was about 8 years or more.
Yeah.
No, it should be more. It should be more than 8 years. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. So that was a lot for me. So I think that was it.
To be honest, that's great. That sounds great.
Yeah.
That's good. In our previous discussion, you talked about moving schools in the junior classes.
Yeah.
Didn't that have any negative impacts on you as a person, changing from school, repeating without failing?
Of course. If you look at it as a youngster, where you're told you would have to repeat classes, it would definitely affect even your ego and how you think about how you see yourself. Because sometimes you could be in like your 200 level, or let's even talk about secondary school. You could be in like your GSS3 and they'll tell you, oh, do you know that so person is already in his 200 level, or in his, you just gained admission, and it was a big deal back then, admission, not as much as it is today, but because we don't have social media like it is now. Yeah, social media is more of an alternative for people, to mix it up with schooling, and there's social media for information and also to make money. So it really impacted even negatively on me, because
How did you get out of that?
Naturally, I don't even think it was a gift, or I call it a mojo. I don't even think it was. Naturally, I had what I would call a gift, which is I accept the situation as it is.
That's who you are.
That's who I am, naturally. I didn't think it was something people should strive for.
On.
Yes. So when I find myself there, I just fit in. It happened while I was in my JSS1. For every school I went to, I fit in naturally, right? And when I got to university as well, same thing happened. While I was in my first year, I was in my second year, I moved down again to my first year, theater arts. I was with people that I was teaching tutorials, because that's also something I love to do. I love to teach.
Oh.
Yes. I was a lecturer in in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, for about 2 years. Shivindia University.
For your master's, I believe.
No. When I was done with my master's, I was recommended to the school. Yes, because I finished from Sikkim Manipal University, which is an India university, mass communication and journalism.
All right.
Yeah, we're not practicing much now. We're just talking. So,
Yeah.
so when I finished, I think recommended to the school, and I thought, and I love to teach.
Yeah.
So
For me, because you like to speak.
Yes.
You probably like to
Yes,
teach.
I love to teach, and it's a practical, especially about when it comes to practicals for the media. But these days we monetize it, so we don't just talk for the sake of it.
There's another story. The story of this will be part of your greatest decisions.
Okay.
And you narrated how a lady influenced you to change certain attitudes,
Yes.
perceptions about
Yeah.
I'd like you to narrate that.
Okay, it happened in two factions, but majorly started my JS1 DSC Technical High School, which happened to be one of the best schools back then in Delta State. While I was in JS1, she walked up to my crew. We had this crew. I was still young, and it is with us.
Like a gang.
Yes, like a gang, and it's a
Okay.
clique. We call it a clique,
clique,
and
the clique.
you can't just join us like that. So she said, "Hey, I would like to be with you guys so we can study together." I didn't think we were even doing much of studying together anyway. So I was like, "Get out with your long ogo." I was like, wow. Now when I think of it, I've been trying to contact her. I don't even know her name. Yeah, I've been trying to, but I don't know her name, no name, surname. I don't know that. But when I said that, she felt really bad and left. Next day, we're told to narrate, to give a narration creative story. She got.
Sorry, for the benefit of those who don't understand the meaning of Ogo.
Ogo, yeah, the back of the head. So I said, yeah, long, like, yeah.
Protruded back head.
Yeah, that's right. So that protruded back head, we mostly see it in cartoons and all that.
True,
Yes, so
Togwalo.
yes.
Togwalo.
It's a guala.
There's a cartoon like that.
Yes, that's the worry cartoon. Take Walla. So I told her that. So next day she came. The teacher for CROK said narrate the creation story, and none of us could, but she did. And I had that inferiority complex when it comes to women. I saw them as trash. And since she got it, she had to flog us. Next day, the physical education teacher came and said, define physical education, because I told you guys to do it last week. And she did. And none of us could get it. I mean, we're trying, but none of us could get it exactly as it was, word for word. And she flogged us again. And after that happened, I had to pick up my books. I studied like a madman. Now, my dad, while giving us homeschooling, he always told us, read as if there is no God. Now, I didn't understand what that meant until when I became an adult. Because when we read like there is God, we are waiting for his intervention. And that's how people live their lives waiting for a miracle.
And then you pray before exam.
Yes. So he made us understand, if you read like there is no God, now when you've read like a madman like there is no God, then you can now ask God to intervene. God can now remind you this is what you read. But when you don't read, nothing. So I read like there is no God. And that was the first time I read, and I don't know if I should call it saturation or oversaturation. Like my brain was saturated. Nothing could come in. All work and no play came into play then. And it was just once I went to play hide and seek with my friends. I was sweating profusely, and when I took my bath, went back to the books, bam, bam. I was waking up then 1 a.m. every day in JSS1, and then I moved it to 2 a.m. so I wanted a situation where I wouldn't sleep. And people today tell me you don't sleep. That's because it's already my DNA. Yeah, it got to a point while I was in Ghana doing my masters. When I wake up, you don't need to set the alarm. I don't know how it happens. I became a human clock. I wake up at exactly 2. So she influenced that about me. I now saw ladies like, look, these people are not trash. But then, funny enough, when I left that JS1 and did my JS1 again in another school, Federal Government College, Warri, I still had a part of that. It wasn't completely flushed. So it was more like someone was watching me and holding this koboko, which by the name Chigozie Ogbuka. It was more like, look, you know what? You still have a little of it in you. I need to trash it out. And she did that intellectually by coming first in class every term. She beat everyone hands down. I did everything. I read like a madman, nothing. And at that point, I said, women have it. Do not think women are nothing. Do not think women are not a substance. They're walking substances. So I saw people as equals from then on. So that was it.
All right. So my last question for you.
All right.
What would be your top 3 counsels to young people? Top 3 counsels to young people.
Okay, young people. First one is going to be, I would say it this way, be risky. Make all the mistakes you want to make, because when you're young, you've got some time in your hands, right? Try out anything, skill, whatever, just learn. And I would say this, if young people are getting into something, they should go with the intention of making a mistake. So before you start, tell yourself, what I'm about to do is most likely going to go wrong, but I'll do it anyways. Now, I'm not talking about things that are illegitimate or illegal. I'm talking legal things that ought to be learned, okay? It could be a skill, it could be anything. Try them, be risky, just keep trying things. While you're doing that, you might just find your source. Now, it might not be at that moment, it might be in the future. I'm going to say this very quickly. For instance, back then, I loved gadgets. I love to get gadgets. I'll just buy gadgets, one small gadget. I'll try things, I'll test things. Electronic gadgets. And today, I'm the CEO of BoT Smart Homes. And that came because one time, myself and my brother, we bought this Alexa device, a small one. We ordered it on Amazon. And when it came in, we're just playing with it. Alexa, what is the time? Alexa, say this. And one day I was like, this could be more. And I went on YouTube and I kept learning, and then I started trying things and buying, just trying things. And at the end, I created the idea that, look, this smart home thing can come, it can work. And today I run a smart home. I can turn off lights just by saying it. I can be 1,000 miles or in the United States. I can still see my house or do anything. So that's the first thing I would say. Be risky. Try out anything. Just keep trying. Don't think, oh, is this specific thing I want to learn? Learn everything as much as you can. The brain allows it. So that's the first one. Yeah. So one more advice, please. Yeah, for them is consistency. I always say that. In whatever you're doing and you know it's good, be consistent with it. Keep doing it. You can be doing other things, but keep doing it. Don't ever think, oh, I'm doing this thing and I'm going to go wrong with it. Keep doing it. And one day, it's going to be that thing that brings you to limelight. Especially in my field, of course, mostly I would say consistency. I usually say there's no key to success. There is no key. I say the key to success has been thrown away, but there are a lot of doors. And you can break anyone.
Break doors.
Yes. Now, the very third one I'm going to talk about, yes, in this case is my most important. So in this case, I'm going to say that the last is now the first. And that is something that a lot of pupils, either in primary school or students in secondary or even university level, they experience it, they don't ever talk about it. And when I paint the scenario, you're going to understand why. The best dressed, I'm going to say this to you, the best dressed students, the best dressed female student or male student, or the most intelligent person, or the person who is outspoken, or is most sociable, or the parents are rich, yes, popular, those things. The possibility that that person is going to do better than you, don't think that that is what guarantees it. Don't think because you are not there and no. people usually think that these are the people that have made it in life. People usually think these are the people for the future. And I believe, I'm not in those people's hearts. I believe that's how they see themselves. These students should understand that when they leave school and the reality hits most of these persons, the story is not the same. Some of them don't even remember where the plug for the iron is. They now understand it's tougher than that. Now you've been focusing on several things that you thought, I'm the dull guy, I'm the dull girl, I'm the one that I'm always either reading or I'm always on the internet learning things on YouTube. Those things now come into play. I learned how to become a filmmaker online. When my movie won an award in Abuja some years ago against, okay, I won't call it against, it was chosen amongst the movies, you know, and there was this very revered director, I respect him to date, a big director in Nigeria, and the movie won, and I felt, wow, how am I going to step out? And even when the movie was playing, people were walking out. I mean, who am I? And when the movie played about 5 minutes, they started calling each other, where are you? Better come back to Silverbed. This movie mad. It was a short film. And in no time, that hall was full. Now, when that movie won, when I was called out, they looked at me and said, I thought the person that made this movie, that was Fidelis Duca back then, he said, I thought the person was going to be a man with white beards. You? And I said, yes, sir. I said, did you learn this? Where did you learn it? I mean, who shot it? I said, me. Who directed it? I said, me. Who did the color grading? I said, me. Okay, who produced? I said, I did it. I said, where did you learn this, young man? Where do you school? I said, I school in an Indian university in Ghana. And instantly, he just concluded that I learned film from there.
Meanwhile, you did another course
entirely. I did another course, my master's. And he said, you see why school is important? But me, I was just, bathing in the old thing. I wasn't ready to contest anything. I said, sir, no, you are wrong. Just bathe me in it. And that wasn't the first time I was having to hear somebody say that. So for me, when it comes to things like that, I saw myself in that way, and that's how I know a lot of those students in this category see themselves. And for other persons, other students who are ironing their clothes, and they should also understand that that's not how life is. So they should be able to bring these people to themselves, because tomorrow no one knows it. So I saw these people like that. I'm not saying these people are not successful with whatever they're doing right now. They are. But like recently when I went for my school meets, when they saw me, someone saw me, was like, hey, what's up, Oboro, my main G, yeah, Oboro, my main G back in the day. And I was like, well, I can't remember that. I was nobody's main G. I was a no G. You get what I'm saying? So I was a nobody. I was a nobody. Because I felt so inferior. I just cower. I couldn't, if I even like someone, even if it's a lady, I can't even ask the lady out. That even happened up to my university. I cower. I wasn't as bold as I am today. Today I talk, I say it, and people are like, is this the same guy? I'm like, yeah, it's me. What? And they're like,
let me ask you,
yes.
What happened? What actually happened? Where did you get that, as they call it in Nigeria, breakthrough? Did you get it?
Okay,
what was is it the tipping point for you?
Okay, the tipping point for me was, it doesn't happen at once. Okay. Yeah, because if I say that it happens it was a process. So if I say it happened at once, I would be lying to myself. Now I got to a point I could feel things I wanted to say, I never say them. I want to say this is wrong, I don't say them. I just keep quiet about them. But it got to a point where I could say things softly. So while in theater arts, they realized that I could speak. Now you don't need to tell me what to say. Just say a few words. Don't tell me, but just say them. Just say, Oboro, please can you tell them to keep quiet? I mean, final year students would call me to do it. We had the likes of Osh Baby back in the day, and some other great comedians of today in school then. But final students will call me. I'm not saying people were the ones, they were our seniors. So you know, they'll call me. They're just like they're having a production on stage, like maybe they are rehearsing. They'll just say, Oboro, please, can you talk to them for us? And when I stood up, I don't think of what to say. I just start talking. You know, that so gradually the confidence was, you know, it was bolstered and all that. And I think even in Federal Government College, I was a storyteller once in a while, and I would talk. And when I got to university, just patches here and there. I was a comedian at a point. Oh. You know, yeah, I did stand-up comedy. Yeah, I did stand-up comedy. I was even in Delta Talent Quest. I was among the persons shortlisted for comedy back then. So,
Thank you so much for this, your time and the gadgets and facilities we're using for this.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the time, Mr. Paul. It's not always I get to talk about myself. Thank you.